Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Pelletier and we're back again. I'm back again with another famous author and illustrator, Lois Ehlert. And Lois Ehlert writes different books and illustrates in a very different way. So as I read these books today, I want you to really notice these illustrations. I'm going to start with the back of this book. This book's called Snowballs, which is kind of funny because right now it's so hot outside, but I'm going to read you the back of it. And it says, what kind of a day is it when thick snow is falling everywhere? Think about that question. What kind of a day is it when thick snow is falling everywhere? A glorious snowball day. Grab some snow and start rolling. With a few found objects like buttons and fabric and seeds and a little imagination, you can create a whole family out of snow. But hurry before the sun comes out. So I think what's going to happen in this book is there's a snowstorm and snow is falling. See, do you notice this around the picture? He's just got almost like little circles. But what else do you notice about this snowman? Look carefully. Do you see the mouth? What's the mouth made out of? If you look carefully, it's kernels of corn. And then look at the nose, it's a strawberry. The eyes are raisins. And then this is a beautiful fabric hat, okay? And look at that's real popcorn. So think about what Lois Ehlert is doing. And we're going to look through this book as we read. I want you to think about the materials. And I also want you to think about the weather and how it's changing a little bit. So it's called Snowballs. Oops. Do you think birds know when it's going to snow? Let's look here. Do you think they do? Look at they're eating there. They might sense that because most of the time birds go someplace safe when it snows to protect themselves. So they might want to bring some food with them. I do. The seeds we left out were almost gone. New snow would soon bury the rest. So see, these seeds are on the ground. Why do you think they're almost gone? Well, the birds are eating them, and they may even take some with them and put them up in their nests so that they're hungry, so that they won't be hungry. We'd been waiting for a really big snowstorm, saving good stuff in a sack. Finally, it was a perfect snowball day. So, who's talking in this book? We've been waiting for a really big snowstorm. Probably people, right? And they've been saving all of these materials in a big sack. Do you know what a sack is? It's another word for a bag. What do you notice about the materials that they've been saving? Some yarn and ribbon, some popcorn, peanuts. They could use this. What do you think they're going to use this for? Now look at what happens to this book. We have to turn it this way. We rolled 3 snowballs and made a snow dad. So see, he's got popcorn on his belly. Let's see this. Oh! Added a snow mom. So look at what they used all of those materials for. And look at that little bag. She does look like she's holding a purse. They'd use raisins. And you know what that is right there? That's actually a seashell. Oh, and a cool snow boy. Do you notice what she's using to make all of the features of his face? Look carefully. It looks like an old car, maybe a miniature car, the wheels. And these are little, almost looks like a little piece of licorice or something. More corn kernels. This is a compass that tells you where to go. And these are little bolts. And there's the squirrel with a real peanut. And then here she made a snow girl. And this looks like it's part of a broom and a pine cone and a button. Okay, and look at all of these seeds all around. And a round snow baby. Look at that. Look at, they even used tickets. So do you think that she drew these? Or do you think that they're photographs? I want you to be thinking about that as we read some more. Built our cat, and to end the day, so these are all the things they did on the snow day. They built all of these different snowmen, used all of these different materials to make them, made our dog Spot. So what are all the spots made of? Look at all the buttons. And then they used part of a tree for his ears and a walnut for the nose. I guess you know what happened when the sun came out. Snow Dad's shrinking. Why is Snow Dad shrinking? What do we know when the sun comes out? What happens to the snow? Mom is mush, boy's a blob, girl is slush. So what's happening is the sun's starting to melt and Mom is becoming mush, so she's starting to melt. Boy's a blob, just a little blob of water and snow. And girl is slush. So you know how slush is kind of like wet water? I mean wet snow? Baby's melting, cat's getting small, dog is a puddle. So dog is totally gone. So long, Snowball. And that's the end. And so if you look on this last page, she puts all of the materials that she used to make those snowmen. So look at, there's a maple leaf, there's a toy wheel, a seashell, a stone, a twig. This was actually, they call it a tie applique heart. So it's made out of material. This was a scrub brush from Mexico. This was a bottle cap. She used this Guatemalan purse. So she used things that she had collected from lots of different countries. And when she drew or painted these illustrations, she would paint the background, but then she put the objects on top and took a photograph. That's a different way to do these illustrations, okay? And then this is a Guatemalan belt and tie. This is a claim check. So she must have, let's see what this is for. Doesn't say what it's for, but she must have bought something and that was the stub so that she could, if she dropped something off, she would go pick it up and give them this ticket. So look at this. She puts this, snow info. And she gives us some information about what is snow. Snow is a frozen solid form of water. Water can take three forms. Gas, where its droplets are dispersed in the air, such as steam or fog. A liquid, when it's rains, oceans, lakes, streams, rivers, and drinking water. Or a solid, right, when it's ice, snowflakes, hail, sleet, and frost. And look at all of these mittens she's labeling. So this is something that nonfiction writers sometimes do. They put a label and they tell you exactly where it's from. So this is a Wisconsin mitten. This mitten was made in the state of Wisconsin. This is the clothesline. These are clothespins that attach the mittens to the clothesline. This is a Korean glove, an Italian mitten, that's from Italy. This is from Afghanistan, and this is from another Wisconsin mitten. And then look at this, she puts all different types of snowmen that she built in her yard. Maybe this is Lois when she was like a young little girl. Okay, and she gives you more information about what makes snow. Okay, so she carefully illustrated this book, and you can see how she used painting for the background, but then she literally put all of these objects on top to make her illustrations. And then she took a photograph of it. She took a picture. Okay, so these are all of the things that we've noticed about Lois Ehlhardt's illustrations, which make it really, really interesting. So right here, some of the things that we actually did notice was Lois Ehlhardt tells the story from making the snow people until they melt. So the beginning of the story talks about how she makes them, and then the end, they melt. You have to turn the book to see the really big illustrations. So sometimes illustrators and authors do that. Sometimes you can hold the book this way, but sometimes you hold it this way. And then her illustrations are made from pieces of paper and many real objects. So all of this is cut out paper, and then she glued on these other materials. She tells the story using I and we, right? When she writes, "Do you think birds know when it's going to snow?" She says, "I do. The seeds we left out were almost gone." And then she talks about we'd been waiting. So she is talking about maybe her family that made all of these snowmen, okay? All right, so I hope you enjoyed this book. And you know what's interesting? On the back, she puts little pieces, almost from the newspaper, about the weather, what the weather's gonna be like today, tonight, and the next day. And she put that on the back. So this actual book won some awards. It won the ABA's Pick of Lists, the Publisher's Weekly Best Book of the Year, and New York Public Library's 100 Titles for Reading and Sharing. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the story.